Elliot, obviously up at the tribunal tonight. What's the feeling like if you were to lose him this evening? Is there a bit of nerves around?
Well, you never like losing your A-grade players, so we feel like as a club we've got a good case for him to get off, but it's out of our control now. Like I was saying before, ideally any side with Yowie in is a better side, so fingers crossed he gets off, and we expect him to play Saturday night.
If he wasn't to play, what would it do to your midfield?
Well, we feel like we've got a pretty good midfield with a lot of depth at the moment. We've got guys in the wings waiting to come in as well, but Yowie, you can't really replace Yowie. He's an A-grader. He has different strengths to other guys, but we've probably seen the last couple of weeks with when Shuey was out, we had a good spread of midfielders and blokes pulling their load. So I think, it's the old mentality of soldier out, soldier in, but we're focused and we think Yowie will play this week, so it's out of our control now.
You were compared to the Harlem Globetrotters by Nathan Buckley the other night. How was that received?
I don't sit in the midfield meetings, but no doubt there's been a bit of talk with the boys. It is good to see down back. I get first glance of one Nat Nui in his prime at the moment. I think he's having a great year, just the way he gives our midfield first use, and I thought he was again huge on the weekend. And the addition of Timmy Kelly, I thought that was probably the best game for the club from his standard. We know he's an A-grader as well, but just the dynamic, we feel like we've got a lot of midfielders with different strengths, and it's good to see them playing together and get the ball moving forward because, when they're all playing at their best, it's a pretty formidable midfield, that's for sure.
When the team's playing like that and you've got the momentum that you've got, do you feel like there's much that can derail that?
Oh, well, you can't be complacent. You can never be satisfied. We feel that that's the benchmark. We know the capabilities of our midfield. We feel like across the board we're a pretty even, balanced side. Understanding the guys in the midfield, each of them have played, apart from TK, probably played over 100 games of footy, so a lot of experience in there. And that's where the game's won and lost, for the midfield. So we've had a lot of good players come through there. Look at our history of the club. We've always had a good midfield, and the one that I'm privileged to be part of at the moment, the team, we've got a very strong midfield. So it's good to see the boys go at work, and they're very good on the weekend.
Shep, do you think it took longer than they would have liked for the midfield to gel with Tim coming in? Obviously 3 losses in a row, and now you're really back to your best. Did it take longer, given the talent we know Tim has?
I don't think it's the midfield. I think it was probably the whole team collective. We're all a bit down across the board. The COVID period, the break away from the club probably didn't help with the synergy within the group. Adding someone like Tim's calibre, I think they've found a real good niche at the moment. They're complementing each other, and I think we've been building the last 3 or 4 weeks, which has led to us, getting a couple of wins in a row. But now it's, we're after consistency, and we know what the output those guys can do, and we know what potent forward line we've got. So it's got to get the ball in there.
Xavier O'Neill, if Yowie fails tonight at the tribunal, is Xavier O'Neill a guy that you think that could come in and play? Obviously, you can't replace Elliot, but play that sort of role?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been big on roles for players through my time at the club, and since Simo's taken the reins. And if Yowie doesn't get up, we've got guys in the wings ready to come in, and they've been playing this scrimmage. They played against Collingwood on the weekend, and from all reports, they all came out injury free and all played well. So the competition for spots is there at the moment, and no doubt, if that were the case, then the boys would be ready to go.
Obviously, a lot of talk around the COVID year that we're having and how it's affecting everyone and every team in the league. How are you going, and how much motivation extra do you have, given that you were one of those 3 that missed out in 2018 with Gaffey and Nick?
It has been a different look this year, having that period out of the game. But motivation for myself and all the boys is always there every year. I know you mentioned a couple of us that missed out a couple of years ago, but we've got the changeover at our playing list. The guys are playing in our side at the moment. It'd probably only be 12, 13 premiership players playing in our team at the moment. So the hunger for success is there. And, there's going to be challenges going forward with the COVID period, with the fixturing and the games and the hub that we've experienced earlier in the year. But we've got to be agile. That's something that we all understand, and we all want success, and we want our members to be proud of the way we play, and we feel like we're doing that at the moment.
Brad, how's Jeremy McGovern going?
Yeah, he's peacocking around the club at the moment. He's in good spirits. You have to get through the training session this week, but expecting him to play this week.
Brad, you guys are obviously out of quarantine now. Living in the new environment, not being in the same hotel with everyone, not seeing each other every single day, how's that going to change the way you interact and bond, given you're not allowed to spend as much time with each other at homes and things like that, which is what you've done in Queensland?
Yeah, it's a good question. We feel like as a footy club, our connection between staff and players probably went to another level, and being back home at the moment, we are separated a bit. We're still in our small training groups when we're in at the club. So the interaction from player to player and player to staff probably isn't the same, but we feel like we've got a strong foundation, and going forward, we're trying to figure out ways to keep the relationships up and going. But we feel like being out of quarantine from the weekend, getting back to a bit of normality, what our week looks like, our routines. We feel like you always like playing in front of your home crowd and sleeping in your own bed. So we're fortunate for the time being that we're able to do that. But knowing that circumstances and things will change pretty soon.
So the blokes that you have barely seen, because they're in different training groups now, they're not around the hotel. They're out doing their other 8 and being in quarantine and now and hanging out in different ways.
Yeah, there's a couple of boys I'm avoiding actually. It's been good to get a bit of a breather from them. No, I think I've loved. I guess probably the biggest thing is I'm 29 now. Getting the closer relationship to our first year players, second year players, getting a better understanding of their background, who they are as a person. I think that's been probably the biggest, bonus out of the experience of the hub life is get to know these players better.
Shep, in the space of 2 weeks, JK has gone from being too old and slow to have been the Coleman favourite. How have you seen his year as a whole, and how good was it to see him wind back the clock this weekend?
Yeah, he's been threatening to tear a game apart for a number of weeks now, and it was good for him to get reward for effort on the weekend. I think the delivery to him was first class, and all forward lines know it's not just about the one person. I think if you go behind the goals and see the selfless acts of our smaller forwards blocking for each other, he definitely got a lick of the ice cream on the weekend. But in this COVID breakup, I saw how hard he was training. He was my training partner for the majority of the COVID breakup, and I saw the hard work he put in. So there's no surprises really of his year to date and his performance on the weekend.
Can you expand a bit on that, on what it was like training with him the entire time, and seeing why we're seeing from him what he's able to do right now?
Yeah, I was a couple of years older than me, so he's like a father figure. No, I think just his discipline. He was there first thing every morning. We made sure our motto was win the morning, win the day. So we're up first thing, and each session we did, we trained with purpose and trained as though we're going to be playing in a couple of weeks, because there was uncertainty, but the motivation he brought to training definitely motivated me as well, and I think he's reaping the rewards. I think it's never easy training away from the group with just in partners. It was a difficult time, but the time we did train together was first class.
Did you catch the game last night, Shep? Geelong pretty impressive, albeit in really terrible conditions.
Yeah. Watched parts of the game last night. Like I saying, pretty difficult conditions last night, but I was just more interested in how they set up, their forward line and behind the footy as well. So there's definitely a couple of things I took away from the game. They're a mature side, have been playing finals for a number of years now. They're well coached, so we're expecting a big game Saturday night, and we need all our fans to come out to support us because they act as a 19th man for us out there. So fingers crossed we get a full house or close to 30,000 as we can, and looking forward to another big game Saturday night.
Let's ask you about Oscar Allen. Having a great year, like he's played forward, he's played back, he's played ruck. Where did you always think he was going to settle, and why? Once he got into one position.
Yeah. Well, his first year, he chopped out down back, and we're pretty lucky to have someone like Oscar on our playing list, be able to play all positions and playing well. I think in underage footy he was up forward, so I think he's been earmarked to play up forward, and he's doing a great job of that this year, and also pinch hitting in the ruck to relieve Nick. So he's having a great year. He's only going to get better and better the more experiences he has at AFL level, and he understands the preparation and what he does throughout the week for him to be able to perform on the weekends. And it's great to see not only him, but there's a group of young players coming through the club at the moment who are getting games in and really playing great footy. So I'm wrapped with how everyone's going.
Just how talented is he? Like what stands out to you at training when you were able to train? Like what's always stood out to you as his big weapon?
Well, he's definitely a presence on the footy field. I think he's really strong overhead, and for such a young kid, he's got quite a developed body as well. So he matches you with the strength, but then if he gets an undersized opponent, he can really get you in the air. So that's probably one thing at the moment that stands out, is just how good he is overhead.
In your own form, Shep, is there any secret to the way you're playing this season?
No secret, just hard work. I think being a senior player in the side, you just want to strive for consistency, and I think that's what I've been able to do the last couple of years. And making sure my preparation's right and what I deliver. I need to make sure I'm playing at a level which I know the coaching staff expect of me. And I think this year has been a consistent year to date. So just got to keep doing the same things and keep educating the young kids coming through. We've got a pretty young backline at the moment with Nelson, Colin and Duggan as well, and Rotham on the weekend. So just trying to pass on experiences, but also trying to maintain my own form level as well.
Any nerves for yourself seeing the spate of hamstring injuries going around at the moment?
Not until now. No, I think it's we're all cautious and wary of potential soft tissue injuries coming back off this layoff. But it's part of sport. It is part of the game at the moment. But we feel like our strength and conditioning staff has set us up with a program to hopefully combat the soft tissue injuries. Understand that they're going to happen, but fingers crossed. Do everything right from Monday to Friday to make sure it doesn't happen. But understanding that if it does, you've got to deal with it, move on, and fingers crossed it doesn't happen.